One of the things I want to pick up on is quite a few questions have been coming in about saying, well, aren't you taking money away from other musicians by using MIDI instruments and VST instruments in your recording studio? That means artificial instruments, rather than paying professional musicians to come in and record. Now, as a session musician myself for many years, I understand the value and the importance, and actually there's nothing better than using live musicians to record a work. But in today's setup, let me explain a little bit about why I use VST Instruments and my MIDI guitar, the Roland Multi-Act Concert Grand Guitar. I use that as a MIDI instrument to be able to play any other orchestral instrument. I also use my keyboard back here so that I can put in harmonies and chords, and I can orchestrate large works using VST instruments. Why do I use that? Well, first and foremost, it's so much cheaper. Using and hiring musicians in and their £1,000 instruments and the insurances and everything, it's not manageable for somebody with a small budget. But what producers want an example, and directors want an example of the music that you're going to provide them. So you have a full orchestral score. I can be here at 2 o'clock in the morning recording. I can work around my kids and my family, picking kids up from school. My wife and I, we're foster carers, and so it limits the amount of time that I'm around. We specialise with children with autism, so I need to be around at home. So I can actually pick and choose my times to record, be it through the night when everyone's asleep. I can set my studio up and I can record during the night. I don't have to have hundreds of musicians coming in to record in the studio during that day. But then what happens? The directors can then make the adjustments that they want, the ideas that they have. So if it's for an advert, it could be for a game, it could be for a film, it could be for television. All those different genres of music that are out there, I can adapt my recording environment to suit that without having to bring in the musicians. But then what happens with some of the bigger budgets, what will then happen is they will then take my original recording and they will get professional musicians and play on top of that. So don't get me wrong, there is nothing better than having professional musicians. However, it is not always possible to do that. And you have to think as well, we are creating a lot of new ideas and new creative spirits because of the capabilities of the small bedroom studio now. So more and more people are able to become musicians and creative artists, recording in their studio. And the professional musicians that are out there are still coming into the studio to record no matter what, to be able to create the samples. You look at the brilliant company Spitfire Audio. Spitfire Audio bring in to their air studios thousands of the very best musicians over the last couple of years, thousands of the best musicians in London and England to record the samples and the sounds and the intricate detailing of their samples. So there's the work for the musician out there. Now, I'm not a very good keyboard player, I have to confess. I'm a far more proficient guitarist, having been a concert guitarist and touring concert guitarist for 14 years. I'm more creative, more musical in my ability to be able to play the guitar. But the problem is with that, I have both hands occupied, so I can't adjust the key switches. So I'm always on the lookout for devices to help me create the articulations, and that's what I do the videos for. That's what I try and help others that are in the similar position to me to be able to find the techniques and the devices that are going to help them. I started this recording lark when I married and had a young family, and I wanted to record my own classical guitar album of the favourite songs that my audiences have always requested. I'd never done that album. And so I thought, how hard can it be? I've spent many years in studios. How hard can it be? Well, I discovered how hard it could be. That snobbery was totally unjustified, because I bought a cheap audio interface and I plugged it in, a simple microphone, a dynamic microphone, and I started recording. It wasn't right. It wasn't the sound that I was looking for. So I spent the next 6-7 years learning the craft of recording, all the different devices and techniques to be able to get a better quality sound, using the right equipment appropriately, how to mic an instrument appropriately, finding the right space to record in. All these things I've spent many years working out, using YouTube videos myself to train myself up. So I've made a lot of mistakes and I've had some great successes as well, and some things I'm very proud of. And I did finish that first recording and I was delighted at the time with the results. I've moved on, I've learned a lot since then. But I just thought, questions that are coming in on YouTube, I wanted to help others understand some of the pitfalls that I came across, but also save a lot of time by giving them some really good advice that I'd learned and spent a long time trying to work out. So I hope that helps you today. As always, please do write in and ask any questions you like. If I can, I will answer them. Otherwise, I shall direct you to some other good advice that you can achieve from elsewhere. In the meantime, all the best. Good luck. See you next time.